What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here. In this one, we're going to be going a little bit more in depth on the departure of Keon Sab and the depth that Michigan has at safety, as well as an overview on Sherrone Moore's first group of assistants as the coaching staff is almost complete. Plus, we got a huge recruiting update for Michigan football. Going to be going over the latest on multiple key targets in the 2025 and 2026 class for Michigan. It's all going to be in this video and more, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so we're going to talk about some recruiting updates later in the video, but first I did want to talk about some stuff surrounding the team, and I did want to talk a little bit more about the departure of Keon Sab, the junior safety who entered the transfer portal on Friday. It does suck to lose him. However, Michigan, they are returning their two starters out of Makari Page and Rod Moore, so it's definitely one of the reasons Keon Sab did enter the transfer portal, as he probably wants to go somewhere and start and get more playing time, even though he would have had some significant minutes, although he probably would have been a backup. He even played some significant minutes in this season, even in the playoff. Now, there are rumors that Alabama has emerged as a team that he's going to go to. That would make sense, as obviously, Kalen DeBoer, their new head coach, saw him in the national championship as Michigan faced Washington. But the fact of the matter is, it is really hard to keep players for depth on a football team, especially players who are really talented and who want to go and start and play more minutes. Now, obviously, Michigan, they do play some nickel and they have three safeties out there, but, he wouldn't be getting as many minutes as he would somewhere else. But now, Michigan, they do have more depth at the safety position. They have Jaden McBurrows. They did lose Quentin Johnson as he is off to prepare for the NFL draft, but they also have junior Zeke Berry and sophomore Brandon Hillman, who are actually the only two other returning scholarship safeties on the roster. Now, Jaden McBurrows, he did play some safety at the nickel position, but obviously Zeke Berry, Brandon Hillman, both are former four-star recruits, just like Keon Sab. So Michigan, they should be fine in the short term with Rod Moore and Makari Page returning in some depth. However, Michigan, they also have potential to keep Keon Sab if he does come back and recommits to Michigan, but that does seem like it's a long shot, but we'll just have to wait and see, as Michigan, they are hiring their new defensive backs coach out of Lamar Morgan, which brings me to my next topic, as Sherrone Moore is finalizing his first group of assistants, as the Michigan coaching staff should look like this going into next season. Offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach will be Kirk Campbell. The wide receivers coach will be Ron Bellamy still. The new tight ends coach will be Steve Kasula. The new offensive line coach is Grant Newsome, who was previously the tight ends coach. And our new defensive coordinator is Don Wink Martindale. The new defensive line coach will be Greg Scruggs. The new linebackers coach should be Brian Jean Mary. And the new defensive backs coach should be Lamar Morgan. And special teams coordinator, it'll be J.B. Brown, as he was a special teams analyst under Harbaugh, and he got promoted to the special teams coordinator now. The only question mark that remains is obviously Michigan's running backs coach, Mike Hart. There's so far been no indications as to what his status is and if he will be the running backs coach here at Michigan or not, so we just have to wait and see what happens moving forward. But that's what the coaching staff looks like now. Let me know your guys' thoughts on that. I think Sherrone Moore did a pretty dang good job with all the replacements that he had to fill on the coaching staff. But with that, I do want to talk about some recruiting news for Michigan, as there's a lot of targets to talk about here. First guy I wanted to talk about is the 2025 four-star edge Damian Shanklin. He is ranked 167th nationally in 24/7 sports rankings from the state of Indiana, goes to Warren Central High School. He does have two crystal ball predictions going in Notre Dame's favor. However, Michigan is a top school for him. Shanklin told Tom Loy of 24/7 Sports, "I would say Notre Dame, Tennessee, and Michigan are the ones pushing hard to land him." And he said the teams that are doing the best job with his recruitment is Notre Dame and Michigan. He did say he's going to take plenty of visits, especially one to Michigan, and he said the brotherhood and the culture there at Michigan is what he said when he was asked what appeals about Michigan. He said the game I went to, Ohio State, the fans were all about football there. It's not just football but academics. He said the culture and brotherhood at Michigan is great. And I did want to talk about the 2025 five-star safety DJ Pickett from the state of Florida. He actually recently re-released his top 5 in Michigan. They were on it before, they were on it again as well, along with others like Georgia, LSU, Miami, and Oregon. And the team that actually got cut off of the list is Alabama after the departure of Nick Saban, obviously. Now Michigan, they were doing pretty dang good with DJ Pickett's recruitment. DJ Pickett's mother did attend the University of Michigan, so there's some ties there. And it does seem like DJ Pickett still does like Michigan, especially with the new addition of Sherrone Moore. What will hurt and probably sting in this recruitment is losing Steve Clinkscale. However, Michigan is getting another good defensive backs coach out of Lamar Morgan. But the fact that Michigan is still on the list after Alabama getting knocked off of it is a good sign for Michigan. And I also want to talk about the 2025 four-star safety Jaden Hudson from Pittsburgh, California, ranked 96th nationally on 24/7 Sports composite rankings. He currently does have 2 crystal ball predictions going in Oregon's favor. However, Michigan does remain a contender in this recruitment. Now, he told E.J. Holland of the Wolverine that before they won the national championship, they were recruiting me really hard. Did say I could see myself fitting in well in that defense. And he said when they played Bama, nobody thought they were going to win, but they pulled it off and shocked the world, and their defensive backs all played great. He's also a close friend with Zeke Berry, and he said that he has told me some really good things about Michigan. And he said they do a great job with the athletes and transform their bodies. I definitely will make another visit. Now, Hudson also holds other offers from Auburn, Georgia, LSU, Miami, Ohio State, Ole Miss, Penn State, Oregon, Tennessee, USC, and others. And I did want to give an update on the 2025 four-star safety Messiah Delham, as he's ranked 107th nationally in 24/7 Sports rankings. We have talked about him before. He goes to Warwick High School in the state of Virginia, and Michigan has been a top contender in this recruitment for quite some time now. Now, obviously, Michigan has lost coaches, but Delham told E.J. Holland of the Wolverine that Michigan is definitely still in the picture. I just have to go back up there now that there are some new coaches. He also said he wants to learn more about Sherrone Moore, learn more about him as a coach and as a person. And he said, I definitely want to see if they still have the same love for me with the new coaching staff, and I want to see how they treat the players and things like that. So Michigan's still in a good spot, it seems, with Messiah Delham. Also wanted to talk about the 2025 four-star cornerback Onis Konanbani from Columbia, South Carolina. He is ranked as a 4-star in 24/7 Sports composite rankings. I recently made a top 10 list, and Michigan did make it. However, since posting that list, Michigan obviously has undergone plenty of coaching changes, but I told E.J. Holland of the Wolverine that they're still my top 10 for sure. I love the way they play defense, and he said one of his favorite cornerbacks is Will Johnson. And speaking on Sherrone Moore, he said I was impressed when he took over the team when he had to and won games, and he said I know he's going to be a good head coach. He also did say that he wants to take another visit out there, and he said I want to see practice and how they develop their cornerbacks. Obviously, the next time he will take a visit, he will probably be meeting up with Michigan's new defensive backs coach, Lamar Morgan. Then I also wanted to talk about the 2026 4-star wide receiver, Davian Brown from the state of Virginia. He's a top 100 recruit, ranked 16th nationally on 24/7 Sports rankings. He's a 6'3", 185-pound wide receiver. Now, Michigan recently offered him and stopped by his high school, and he told E.J. Holland of the Wolverine that it's definitely a blessing. He said, Michigan was kind of my dream school, so it's definitely a big one. He said, I know they have a new head coach. I want to see what he brings to the table and what kind of changes he makes. He said, it looks like Michigan, they get the best out of you, and they're big on development and coaching their players. He was also impressed by Michigan winning the national championship, and he did say he plans to get down there for a visit in the spring. So it looks like Michigan should be a top contender for the top 100 wide receiver in the 2026 class, Davian Brown. But with that, that's going to wrap up today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more if you're new around here. I'd really appreciate it. But other than that, we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.